Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tank be Choppin, and I'm back with another haircut tutorial. Alright guys, what we're doing on this cut is a number 3 on the top, a 2 on the sides, and like a mid to high taper. We are going to be adding enhancements. So nonetheless guys, jumping straight into this haircut. As you see, I got my number 3 guard on my gamma boosted, and all I'm doing is taking the sides down to that number 3 guard. Once again, that is the desired length that my client wants on top. So I'm taking that 3 guard all over the top of my client's head, being really consistent with it, making sure there isn't any longer areas or any just loose hairs on top of my client's head. Now here is my number 2 guard. My lever is all the way open, which basically makes this a 2.5. And all I'm doing is basically going to be doing some down fading, because we are going to be doing a number 2 on the sides. So I'm taking this part of my client's hair down with a 2 open, which makes it a 2.5. That way it's easier for me. So when I close my guard, as y'all saw me do right there, I just close my lever. I'm going to take all this hair down at the bottom of my client's head to that number 2. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Go in with my 2 guard lever open, blending into that number 3. And then I'm going to close my lever and take off all that hair at the bottom of my client's head. And once again guys, when you're getting this hair down to that desired length, you want to make sure you be nice and consistent with it. Get all that hair down just to make it a little easier for you. That way you don't have to go, repeat this step later on in the haircut. Alright, so now that that is done, we're going to start our taper work. So what I'm doing is setting in my initial bald guideline with my trimmer. This is the absolute hitter with the one cutter and the smaller, I forgot the smaller the one blade, I guess you can say. Yeah, the X Pro blade, the small one, y'all see it on there. But nonetheless, I set in my initial bald guideline, line them up behind the ear. Now I'm going in with the shaver, getting it nice and bald. Make sure that this lasts my client a good amount of time. Now I'm going with my clipper, once again, lever all the way open, following that same shape, because I do want to keep that C-cup a little bit. So I'm following that same shape, coming up about half an inch or so, using a slight flick out motion, and then I'm going to blend this section out. Meaning I'm going to close my lever halfway, and I'm going to work my way halfway into this section, and then I'm going to close my lever all the way and start attacking that bottom line. And then I am going to do a little bit of detail work right here, just because it's, I might as well, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to, but I wanted to make sure that that looks nice and blended out. Now I'm going with my 1 guard lever open, doing the same exact thing, following that same shape, using a slight flick out motion, coming up about half an inch or so. And then I'm going to close my lever all the way and start attacking that bottom line and try to get that bottom line completely erased. Now, sometimes this does take the line out, sometimes it doesn't. In this particular instance, it took it out for the most part. So I'm not going to revert. I'm not going to go back to my half guard. I'm just going to jump to my next step, which would be my 1.5 guard lever open. Clean everything up behind the ear, clean the top of this blend up, and as y'all can see, this is gonna fade into what I did earlier pretty nicely. So then I just close my lever all the way, and now I'm trying to get rid of all these discrepancies and all these darker areas in that section. And as you can see, I'm making sure that I come behind the ear. A lot of times people leave a lot of bulk behind the ear. I like to bring that down. I just feel that it gives it a nicer blended look. But now that that's done, I'm going in with my half guard now. Just doing some small detail work. It really wasn't needed, but there were some discrepancies in this area that I felt that the half guard would have really just detailed and took out them areas a little better than using my clipper open or my 1 guard. So that's why I went in with my half guard. Now I'm going back in with my 1 guard, doing some more detail work, some corner blending, adjusting my lever as needed, using some lever play just to get this blend nice and blurry. And now that that is done, I'm gonna go ahead and line up my client. And I know that taper isn't 100% done yet. It may be like 80 or 90% done, but I'm gonna go back in after I line up my client. So I'm using my Snap FX trimmers, and all I'm doing is lining up my client in the front, starting off my initial line in the center of my client's head, and then I'm working my way over all the way to the vertical bar. And then we're gonna hit that vertical bar, and I am gonna hit that C-cup slightly because I blended it, a lot of it out, but you can still see once I hit it with my trimmer, you can still see a nice little curve. And that's basically what I was trying to do. I didn't want to make it too dark, but at the same time, I didn't want to make it like a super high fade either, or like a super high taper either. Alright, so now that my lineup is there, y'all know I like to go back and do some more detail work. So now I'm going back in with my half guard lever open, cleaning up any dark areas, any lines that I see, any discrepancies. And now I'm going back in with my 1 guard open, cleaning up some more areas that I see. And now we're jumping into the opposite side of my client's head. And as you can see, I'm setting in my my lineup behind the ear and over the ear first. And it's just something I like to do, man. It's just a habit that I picked up. But now I'm setting in my initial bald guideline with my trimmer. We're gonna get all that down, and then I'm gonna follow this up with my shaver to get it nice and bald and make sure that it lasts my client. And we're gonna be doing similar steps to the opposite side. I'm going in with my lever open, and then I'm gonna blend this section out by adjusting my lever closed little by little. And then I'm gonna use my 1 guard lever open, set in another section, following that same shape, and then I'm gonna blend this out by closing my lever all the way and attacking that bottom line. Now on this side, it's not gonna get that line out like it did on the other side, so I will have to come in with my half guard and do not detail work, but actually blend that out more. And you'll see me do that here in a second. But now this is my 1.5 guard lever open, blending into that number 2 that I did on the sides. Then I'm gonna close my 1.5, clean all that up. And now I'm going in with my half guard. So as y'all saw there, this line here between my clipper open and my 1 guard, that line was a lot darker, it was more definite and more defined. So I wanted to make sure that I tapped that with my half guard before I did my detail work with my 1 guard. Now I'm gonna go ahead and finish off my client's front lineup. Now I'm gonna be transparent with y'all. I pushed this side up a little bit more on his right side, but when we're looking at on the left side, so I had to go back to this side and raise it up slightly. Now I know that may not be like the best thing to do, but sometimes that happens, you know what I'm saying? And then with his lineup, one side is a little higher than the other, which I should have noticed that before, and I always forget with this client, you know, I always have to go back and push up that other side a little more. But anyways, nonetheless, guys, as you see, my client's lined up now. Now I'm going back into this blend and doing some more detail work using whatever guards I feel are necessary. I started off with my 1.5. This is now my 1 guard, and I am just doing some lever play, adjusting my lever as needed. Sometimes you need to adjust it, sometimes you don't. Just depends on what you actually trying to achieve with the blend. And now I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all how I did this back taper. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna do some down fading. So this is my 1.5 guard lever open, blending into my number 2, and then I close my 1.5 guard and I'm coming right below that. So when you're down fading, you come right below what you did previously. So now I'm going in with my 1 guard lever open and I'm coming right below what I did with my 1.5 guard. Now sometimes down fading can be easier for people, sometimes it can be hard because sometimes you lose exactly where you at, and that happens sometimes. But if you can get like an idea and like a mental note of where you're at, I think it'll work good. Now this is my 1 guard lever closed, coming right below what I did with my 1.5 or my 1 guard lever open. And then once that is done, I'm going in with my clipper open, and this is gonna leave a slight line between my clipper open and my 1 closed, but I'll worry about that here in a second. So I'm coming in with my clipper open, and then I'm gonna come right below that with my clipper all the way closed. And then I'm gonna blend this section out. So I'm gonna go in with my clipper halfway open to get that section to come together. And then once I'm done with that, I'm gonna move on to my half guard, because as y'all can see, there is a slight line between my clipper open and my 1, and this is my half guard. And for whatever reason, my camera stopped recording when I did the trimmer and the shaver, but I do want y'all to know that I did do that. It's just for whatever reason, my camera just stopped recording. But nonetheless, as y'all can see, that taper is pretty much done. Now I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna line up my client. Or I'm not gonna line him up, I'm gonna use my enhancements to really take this haircut to the next level. Just adding enough enhancement to where it makes these lines look sharp and crisp, but not to where it looks fake, you know what I'm saying? So I added some enhancements, sprayed them with some hairspray, and now I'm gonna go in and put some hair fibers in my client. Excuse me. Just because I like the way it looks when I stack my hair fibers on top of, you know, the paint. I just feel that it gives it a better look, in my opinion. So once that is done, I'm gonna lock that in with some more hairspray, and I'm gonna use my Tomb 45 Barber pencil, and I'm just gonna trace, you know, basically trace where my client's hairline meets the skin. I'm gonna follow that all the way around the front of my client's lineup. And you don't have to do this, guys. I just like to do it because I feel that it gives a good look. You know, in my opinion, it takes the haircut to the next level. Once again, guys, we're going Super Saiyan on this cut, you know what I'm saying? But once that is done, you want to make sure to blend that out. And I am using my wall detailers to blend this out. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, the wall detailers, in my opinion, work the best at blending out this pencil line, you know what I'm saying? So I'm using my wall detailers to blend that out. All through the front of my client, you know what I'm saying? Everything that I did with the pencil, I'm going over that with these trimmers. Don't want my client looking like an island boy, you know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that I get that all blended out. But now I'm going in with the razor. As y'all can see, I'm going over all this with the razor, getting all these lines super sharp. Make sure that these lines are nice and sharp and precise. And remember, guys, when you're using the razor, you want to make sure you stretch your client's skin. That way you lessen the chance of nicking your client. But y'all check that out, man. This cut's coming together. You know what I'm saying? It's looking super, super sharp. All right, guys. Well, check it out. This is how my boy came into the shop looking. This is the before look. And this is the finished product. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut in the comment section. If y'all like this video, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe one time for your boy. Remember, guys, if you want a haircut from your boy, you can go to my website, tankbchoppin.com. You can book there. If you want to purchase any of these tools that you see from Gamma or Babyliss Pro, you can go to the website, gammaplusna.com. Use my discount code TANK10, or go to babylesspro.com. Use my discount code TANK10. If you want to purchase anything from Tomb45.com, discount code TANK. And that's basically it, YouTube. I appreciate y'all for watching. Until next time, let's go. Yeah.